Everyone, we are continuing today with the PlayStation 2 collection. I want to get through a bunch of these games quickly, so let's start with Flipnik by our friends at Ubisoft. So this is a tabletop flipper game, or you could call it pinball in other countries. It has a bunch of pinball tables. It's pretty low budget title, I think. Still, it looks cool with the box. It has a normal manual. Until I picked this game up, I didn't even know that Ubisoft published this type of title ever. I guess this might be pretty fun. A bunch of people like pinball games. I'm not really a fan of them, not that big of a fan, but I have played some and they are pretty fun. And the next one is Ford Racing 3. So this one is like basically a, how do you say that, an advertisement for Ford cars. You can play with a bunch of different classic Ford cars, from newer ones until like the Ford GT and even like concept cars and whatnot. Still a pretty low budget release. It's only on a CD, so like file sizes are pretty small, but I think it's interesting that the Ford Racing series was something back in the day. Another racing title that I have is Formula 1 2002. So this one's pretty cool because, well, back in the day, Sony had rights to, or like officially licensed to have Formula 1 games, and they have been doing this since the PlayStation 1 era. If you check out my PS1 video, you can see that Sony even published some of the first Formula 1 games on the system. I think even the first one in 1996 or 7 was a Sony Formula 1 game. And they were pretty solid until the start of the PlayStation 3 generation, 2007. I think they had, what's it called? The F1 Championship Edition game, which we will talk about later because I have that one as well. But that game was pretty cool, and this one's cool. The gameplay is solid. There is what do you call it, like crash models in the game, so you can actually like lose certain parts of your car. It's pretty detailed, although yeah, it aged pretty badly by this time, but you can see it still holds up a little bit. I think the character models are did age really badly, but you can see it's like a weird special edition because it came with, that is the game, of course, but it also came with a demo disc, like a catalog for the SCEE, so the Sony Computer Entertainment Europe game releases. Nice colorful manual, but also it came with a DVD, which is probably the coolest part of this bundle. It's actually not even a PlayStation 2 disc. This is just a normal, like you can see it's a DVD video, but it actually has like a really detailed highlight reel for the entire 2001 season. And the 2001 Formula 1 season was crazy. So this has like 10-minute videos or highlights from every single race, and it has like interviews. You can watch the crashes. There are like multiple angles. This is just super cool with like commentaries. I don't know if they ever had any games that had all of these like other seasons, or they had like official review discs, but this one is really cool and I just highly recommend getting this if you love Formula 1, even for this DVD, because this is just awesome. I don't know if they sold this separately, but it's just worth it for the price. And the next one is a weird one. This is the F104 re-release version, but this is like a bundle copy of sort that was made for this region, so it's like the Central Europe region, and it came with a, there you go, it came with a memory card. Yeah, it's still a Sony published game. Back in this day, Sony was the, well, they weren't the sole developer, but they had their own Formula 1 game, And then EA also joined in, and EA made a multi-platform release for that. But this is just for the one, and it came with the memory card for a low price, so it's another strange bundle. So this is an interesting one. So I picked this up brand new in like 2017 in Vienna, because it was €1, brand new game. I opened it, I tried it. It's a fine enough extreme sports game. I think it's nothing special. You can see it's brand new disc, but something that I was really interested about was it was published by Nordic Games, and Nordic Games isn't really that old in this name and with this logo. So I checked the release date, and it's a 2012 game. Yeah, it's an extreme sports game with like mountains and whatnot. It's actually pretty cool, but there isn't really a lot of not really a lot of people are talking about it. Plus, it was released just 1 year before the PlayStation 3 came out. PlayStation 4 came out, sorry. So this is like a really weirdly late PlayStation 2 game release. I just find it really neat. So back in the day, EA was making video games. Wow, interesting. And this is from IO Interactive, from the makers of Hitman 2, Freedom Fighters. Honestly, I didn't even know that they made something else, not just Hitman, but yeah, this is a third-person action shooter game. It reminds me of stuff like Mercenaries and whatnot. It's strangely forgotten, but I guess it's like cooperation between the two companies. They are not really something that they are explored ever again. So IO Interactive didn't collaborate after this with EA, I think, at all. But still, it's a fun title, sadly forgotten. Something that is hopefully not really forgotten is EA's, I think this is their last James Bond game. This is From Russia with Love 007. Or just From Russia with Love, featuring Sean Connery as James Bond. This is actually Sean Connery's last ever acting job before he retired, because he wasn't really successful anymore and he got old. But this is a cool release. So basically, it's based on the movie, and it's a bunch of classic James Bond stuff. And actually, Sean Connery plays James Bond in there with a bunch of older actors who used to play it, and it's really good. There is like Natasha Bedingfield in there, and you can play a bunch of missions, and there is stealth, and there is shooting. It is absolutely fantastic. There is even a multiplayer mode in there. This is one of the best James Bond games ever made, but I think EA back in the day, they had some pretty solid Bond games, and I think this one is the best of those. It's a surprisingly high quality game that was made with a lot of love. Next up is Fur Fighters, Viggo's Revenge by Acclaim. So this is like a third-person shooter, I guess, with like crazy cartoon characters. I got it pretty cheap, so I don't really have a lot of opinions on that. I haven't played it or tried it yet, but I heard it's a good one. I actually saw a video about it. I think like Metal Jesus was recommending this game, like, oh, it's a hidden gem or whatever. And then I just found it randomly on the flea market, so I want to try it eventually. And the next one is Futurama. So this is a pretty underrated, pretty underrated game. It was made by some, I don't know, UDS, whatever that is. But this is actually a pretty expensive game. It got rare and it went up in price, because basically this is like its own Futurama episode. So there are like, yeah, you can see like 20 minutes of extra Futurama stuff. There is shooting parts, puzzle parts. It's pretty fun and it's pretty faithful for the original Futurama series, which I was a huge fan of Futurama. Yeah, somebody had like something written on it, so it's not in the best of shapes, but it's still a working copy. And yeah, the game is pretty cool. It's really faithful to its material. I'm not really watching Futurama anymore, but yeah, the game is cool. And that's it. This is a pretty short episode for today. As you can see, only like 9 games that I recommend or reviewed from my collection. There are some good ones. From Russia with Love is my standout one. I really like that game. I think it's high quality, and maybe EA, or well, EA probably won't do it, but some other company might remaster it, or maybe this game could get re-released because it's a really fun one. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, comment, like the video if you like this, and see you all next time.